Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. Doorkeepers will please close the doors and keep them closed. Good morning. Welcome to another legislative day. Going to be a great day. We will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by the chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning will be introduced by the gentleman from the 9th House District, the chairman of the House Transportation Committee, Chairman Kevin Tanner. Chairman Tanner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my great honor to come before you today and introduce a fine man in our community. He's not only a pastor at a local church, but he also happens to be the high school principal at our local high school. So he's leading not only a congregation, but he's leading many, many young people in a very good direction at our local school system. Brody Hughes is the pastor at Juneau Baptist Church in Dawsonville. He's pastored there for the past 5 years. He's been in the ministry for the past 15 years. He's enjoyed the opportunity during that time to serve several local churches in and around our community. He also has been a part of several overseas mission trips to Kenya, Uganda, Israel, and Egypt. And he's again been in education now 12 years and is the principal of our school. He is the father of 2 boys, Sutton and Landon, and has a wonderful wife, Brittany, who is a nurse, and they're expecting another boy in May. He brought with him a good friend of his and mine today, former city council member from Dawsonville, Jason Powers. So if you would make him welcome, appreciate him being here with us. It's my great pleasure to introduce Brody. Not only is he a pastor of a local church, old-fashioned Southern Baptist like I am, but he's also a friend. So make him welcome today. Thank you.
Let me say it's an honor and a privilege to be with this body this morning, and we've been praying for you all and know you have tough decisions and things, tasks that are set before you. We want to read out of the 28th chapter of the book of Isaiah in the 16th verse. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. At the turn of the 20th century, a German philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, in his satirical work, The Madman, said that if God died or proclaimed the death of God, that they would run in the city streets, the madman, and proclaim that we would have to light lanterns in the morning to see our way. Just a few years after that, 40 or 50 years later, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, as he said in America, concerned with the events that had gone on in Germany at the time as the dark seed of war and destruction had ravaged his land, and he considered his place and what he should do. This scripture came to his mind, He that believeth shall not make haste, or as he said, he that believeth should not make or should not flee. I just came to encourage you all this morning as you have a great work set before you, each one of you to represent the people of the state of Georgia, to represent your hometowns, and to represent the beliefs that you have within your heart, to stand firm on the foundation that God has laid, a cornerstone for each one of you to stand on as you begin to build. I thought about Nehemiah in the 6th chapter. The Bible said, now Sanballat and Tobiah had come to Nehemiah and tried to distract him from the work that he was doing and said, come, let us meet in Ono that you might take a break and we might get together and talk about these things. And Nehemiah responded, I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. Certainly as all the distractions of life in the world come and encumber you about, I hope and pray that you stand on the firm foundation, that your convictions have led you to this place, as God has driven you in your life to be at the place that you are right now, and you might be as Dietrich Bonhoeffer was, that you believe in that foundation and you would not flee but stand firm on what He has given you. The Bible also teaches us in the book of Galatians in the 4th chapter, Paul says, having begun therefore in the Spirit, where shall we now turn? having begun in your spirit and having God's conviction on your life, and as He has driven you this way, I hope and pray that He'll ever lead and guide you in your decisions as you make these great choices, not only for yourselves, but for this great state and these great people. I would that you might stand and join us now in a word of prayer. Our Lord and Heavenly Master, God, we thank you for this day. Father, we thank you, dear Heavenly Master, for your grace and your mercy that you've extended to us, God, by your graceful hand. God, we pray for each one that is gathered in this house this morning. God, may you lead them and guide them. Father, speak to their heart in that still small voice. God, let them proclaim the foundation that you have set before them. Let them stand strong and tall upon it, God, and let them not flee from the task that is set before them. God, now go with us, lead us, guide us, and direct us. In these things we ask in thy sweet and holy precious name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Doorkeepers will unlock the doors. Chair recognizes the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, Chairman Hogan.
Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journal of the previous legislative day and found it to be correct. Thank you.
Some of your seatmates back there, I think they're questioning whether in fact you have read the journal.
The majority whip, I got him moved over there, and could we get Noah Williams moved over there?
Well, I can't put them at the same desk. That is one of them be in the other's lap. Chairman Hogan, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? The chair hears none, and the journal is confirmed. The clerk will read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day.
Mr. Burns, on the 59th, moves following establishes the order of business in the first part of the period, unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions, first reading and reference of House bills and resolutions, second reading of bills and resolutions, report of standing committees, morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions, the clerk will read.
House Bill 824 by Representative Allen of the 40th, bill being titled Act to Amend Code Section 4286 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to special license plates.
Motor vehicles.
House Bill 825 by Representative England of the 116th Gaines, the 117th Kirby, the 114th. Bill being titled an Act to amend an Act providing authority for members of the Board of Education of Barrow County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 826 by Representative Watson of the 172nd and Taylor of the 173rd. Bill being titled an Act to amend an Act provide for a new charter for the city of Meigs in Thomas County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 827 by Representative Stevens of the 164th. Bill being titled an Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 9 of Title 10 of the Article 2 of Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to George L. Smith to Georgia World Congress Center Authority.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 828 by Representative Stevens, 164th. Bill being titled an Act to amend Title 30 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to handicapped persons.
Judiciary.
House Bill 829 by Representative Stevens, 164th, and Harrell of the 106th. Bill being titled an Act to amend Code Section 4857 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to assessment of tangible property.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 830 by Representative Benton of the 31st. Bill being titled an Act to amend Code Section 472087 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to eligible large retirement systems.
Retirement.
House Bill 831 by Representative Houston of the 170th. Bill being titled an act to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the probate court of Cook County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 832 by Representative Carpenter of the 4th, Perkle of the 155th, Bodie of the 62nd, Douglas of the 78th, and Silcox of the 52nd. Bill being titled an act to amend Code Section 80 of Title 36 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions applicable to counties, municipal corporations, and other governmental entities.
Governmental affairs.
House Bill 833 by Representative Stevens, 164th. Bill being titled an act to amend Title 52 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to waters of the state.
Natural resources and environment.
House Bill 834 by Representative Jaspers, the 11th, Watson, the 172nd. Perkle, the 155th, Houston, the 170th, England, the 116th, and others. Bill being titled an act to amend Code Section 36, 82, 61 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to definitions regarding revenue bonds.
Governmental affairs.
House Bill 835 by Representative Turner, the 21st. Caldwell, the 20th, Singleton, the 71st, and Pullen, the 131st. Bill being titled an act to amend Chapter 5 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated related to ad valorem taxation of property.
Ways and means.
House Bill 836 by Representative Carpenter of the 4th, Harrell of the 106th, Powell of the 32nd, Frye of the 118th, and Williams of the 148th. Bill being titled an act to amend Title 3 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to alcoholic beverages.
Regulated industries.
House Bill 837 by Representative Martin of the 49th, Jones of the 47th, Jones of the 25th, Silcox of the 52nd, Stevens of the 164th. Bill being titled an act to amend Chapter 62 of Title 36 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to development authorities.
Ways and means.
House Bill 838 by Representative Hitchens of the 61st, Lott of the 122nd, Jaspers of the 11th, Gravely of the 67th, and Lumsden of the 12th. Bill being titled an act to amend Code Section 24, 5, 510, and Article 8 of Chapter 2 of Title 35 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to privileged communications.
Public safety and homeland security.
House Resolution 875 by Representative Kendrick of the 93rd, Bennett of the 94th, Mitchell of the 88th, Beverly of the 143rd, and Marin of the 96th, and others. A resolution creating the House Study Committee on Financing Option for Cannabis-Based Businesses.
Special rules.
House Resolution 876 by Representative Kendrick of the 93rd, Mitchell of the 88th, Beverly of the 143rd, Bennett of the 94th, and Marin of the 96th, and others. A resolution urging the United States Congress to enact legislation removing cannabis from Federal Controlled Substances Act.
Special rules.
House Resolution 962 by Representative Stevens of the 164th. A resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to authorize the General Assembly to provide by general law for a local referendum.
Ways and means.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 882 by Representative Green of the 151st, a bill to amend an act providing for the compensation and expense of the members of the Board of Education of Calhoun County. House Bill 803 by Representative Green of the 151st, a bill to provide a homestead exemption from Early County School District ad valorem taxes. House Bill 804 by Representative Gilliard of the 162nd, Gardner of the 57th, Prince of the 127th, Bruce of the 61st, Hill of the 3rd, a bill relating to the Georgia Equality Employment for Persons with Disabilities Code. House Bill 805 by Representative Gilliard of the 162nd, Gardner of the 57th, Prince of the 127th, Bruce of the 61st, a bill relating to the Georgia minimum wage law. House Bill 806 by Representative Bodie of the 62nd, Dreyer of the 59th, Schofield of the 60th, a bill relating to water and sewer project and cost tax. House Bill 807 by Representative Montahan of the 17th, Powell of the 32nd, Hatchett of the 150th, Tanner of the 9th, Yerta of the 152nd, and others, a bill relating to levy on business or practitioner. House Bill 808 by Representative Montahan of the 17th, Powell of the 32nd, Tanner of the 9th, Corbett of the 174th, Hatchett of the 150th, a bill relating to alternative ad valorem taxes on motor vehicles. House Bill 809 by Representative Couch of the 50th, McLaurin of the 51st, Robichaud of the 48th, the Clark of the 108th, the bill relating to offenses against public health and morals. House Bill 810 by Representative Harrell of the 106th, a bill relating to imposition rate computation exemptions from income taxes. House Bill 811 by Representative Harrell of the 106th and Williamson of the 115th, a bill relating to administration of revenue and taxation. House Bill 812 by Representative McLeod of the 105th, a bill relating to elections and primaries. House Bill 813 by Representative McLeod of the 105th, Robichaud of the 48th, Hawley of the 111th, McLean of the 100th, Clark of the 108th, and others, a bill relating to public assistance. House Bill 814 by Representative Welch of the 110th, a bill relating to statewide business court. House Bill 815 by Representative Gaines of the 117th, England of the 116th, Wiedauer of the 119th, Benton of the 31st, Kirby of the 114th, a bill relating to sales and use taxes. House Bill 816 by Representative Mathiak of the 73rd, Williams of the 145th, Hawkins of the 27th, Bonner of the 72nd, Green of the 151st, a bill relating to professional services in which a professional corporation may engage. House Bill 817 by Representative Fleming of the 121st, Lott of the 122nd, Newton of the 123rd, and McCall of the 33rd, a bill to amend an act providing for the election of the members of the Board of Education of Columbia County. House Bill 818 by Representative Welch of the 110th, Williamson of the 115th, Hawkins of the 27th, Gravely of the 67th, Caldwell of the 20th, a bill relating to compact for a balanced budget. House Bill 819 by Representative Park of the 101st, Hitchens of the 161st, Williams of the 168th, Blanchard of the 75th, Wynn of the 89th, and others, a bill relating to issuance, expiration, and renewal of licenses. House Bill 820 by Representative Tanner of the 9th, Smyre of the 135th, Carpenter of the 4th, McCall of the 33rd, Powell of the 32nd, a bill relating to officers in the Department of Transportation. House Bill 821 by Representative Buckner of the 137th and Green of the 151st, a bill relating to retirement and pensions. House Bill 822 by Representative Gamble of the 15th, Scoggins of the 14th, Kelly of the 16th, a bill to amend an act providing Board of Education of Bartow County. House Bill 823 by Representative Gaines of the 117th, Jones of the 47th, Lott of the 122nd, Reeves of the 34th, Woodhour of the 119th, and others, a bill relating to trafficking of persons for sexual servitude. House Resolution 933 by Representative Bodie of the 62nd, Gravely of the 67th, Bruce of the 61st, Collins of the 68th, Alexander of the 66th, a resolution creating the House Study Committee on Homeowners Associations, Condominium Owners Associations, and Property Owner in Community Associations. House Resolution 934 by Representative Harrell of the 106th and Welch of the 110th, resolution proposing amendment to the Constitution so as to provide that the governing authority of any county or consolidated government shall be authorized to adopt an alternative method of appraisal and assessment of real property located within such county for taxation. House Resolution 935 by Representative Tanner of the 9th, Trammell of the 132nd, Smyre of the 135th, Carpenter of the 4th, McCall of the 33rd, a resolution creating the Georgia Commission on Freight and Logistics. Through second readers.
Reports of standing committees. The clerk will read.
Representative Don Parsons of the 44th District, Chairman of the Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications has entered into consideration the following bills of the House. And it's instructed me to report same back to the House with the following recommendations. SB 43, due pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Don Parsons, the 44th District, Chairman. Representative Barry Fleming of the 121st District, Chairman of the Committee on Judiciary, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Judiciary has entered into consideration the following bills of the House. Has instructed me to report same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 765, due pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Barry Fleming of the 121st District, Chairman. Representative Benton of the 31st District, Chairman of the Committee on Retirement, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Retirement has entered into consideration the following bills of the House. It has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 67, due pass. House Bill 195, due pass. House Bill 292, due pass. House Bill 652, due pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Tommy Benton of the 31st District, Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
We're going on now to morning orders. This house will come to order. House will be at order. Chair recognizes for a morning order Chairman John Corbett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, I rise this morning to say thank you. I want to thank this body, the administrative staff, my friends in the hall, my friends across the hall. The love and support that this body has expressed to Rebecca and I been amazing. The last few days been tough. Lord help me. But two things has helped us get through this. First is the faith in knowing that we're going to see him again. You can't lose something if you know where it's at, and we know where he's at. So, and the second thing is the phone calls, the emails, the texts, the cards, the personal visits, the flowers, the food that we have received from this body and the friends of this Capitol have been nothing short of amazing. We thank you for that. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you personally. I can't tell you how much your phone call meant. So anyway, I just can't express how much that meant. I'm blessed beyond measure to serve with this body. I really am. Thank you, and God bless you.
We're going to limit morning orders now going forward to 1 minute each. Apparently yesterday some of you did not hear me say that. So let me be very, very clear. 1 minute. 1 minute. And then the messenger has the ability to turn your microphone off. Chair recognizes for a morning order Representative Petrie.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will be very brief, but I want you guys to direct your attention to the screen here. My friends, I've got an op-ed that I put in the Savannah Morning News on Saturday that I'd like y'all to look at. Many of you may know I'm someone who is very interested in environmental issues, land management. I grow timber. I'm an avid sportsman, and I want to tell y'all something. I'm real proud of what this conservative legislature has done over the last 15 years and beyond that to protect and preserve land in this state. We have preserved over 200,000 acres of land in the last 15 years alone. As a coastal boy, many of y'all may not be aware, 12 barrier islands, and only 4 have any appreciable human population. We have protected our marshes. We have 1/3 of the marshland in the entire coast, Atlantic coast. Folks, we've been very protective of our state, and I want to tell you something we're just real proud to announce today. A brand new wildlife management area, 6,300 acres preserved in Bryan County in my district. We're very proud of that. Thank y'all.
Chair really regrets having to do this. I know these are important matters, but we'd be here all day on morning orders. So if you want to sign up for part 1 today and come back for part 2 tomorrow, we can do it that way. Chair recognizes Representative Williams, Mary Frances Williams, for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've put something on everyone's desk with some quotes about the budget cuts that have been proposed by the governor. First of all, I want to thank the Speaker and Appropriations Chair Terry England for encouraging all of us to attend the budget hearings last week and making us feel welcome. I was grateful for that. Last year was my first session, but I've been around the budget process for years. And last year was a good budget. It was done in good faith. Good people who really care worked really hard to consider all the requests that were made and factor in all those decisions. And I voted for that budget, and I left, and I thought, that was a good budget we did last year. That was a good budget. So we went home, and then we learned about the budget cuts that are having to be made and that were made beginning October 1, and saying that they were necessary. And I just wanted to go on the record and say, I'm not buying it.
Ladies' time has expired.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Lott and Representative Newton for a morning order.
Good morning. We would like today to welcome to the House the advocates and members of the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia. Dr. Mark Newton and I are here as representatives with the working in the area of the Medical College of Georgia, and we would like to say that Georgians with sickle cell are blessed to have access to the Augusta University Sickle Cell Center, which serves approximately 1,500 patients throughout the state, with local clinics in Augusta and outreach clinics in Savannah, Dublin, Valdosta, Waycross, Sylvester, Albany, and Macon. The center's laboratory serves as the reference lab for the statewide newborn screening program. In addition, physicians and scientists affiliated with the center have successfully competed for federal research funding on sickle cell disease, putting the Augusta Sickle Cell Center at the cutting edge of sickle cell research.
And I just want to do a shout out to the Medical College of Georgia. That's the public university, the only public medical school. It's your university. It's your public medical school for each of your districts. I'm excited. 20 years ago when I was there, they were doing this work that has now made groundbreaking advances in treating sickle cell, a devastating disease. So thank you to them. Remember to say thank you to your medical school, the Medical College of Georgia.
Chair recognizes Representative Williamson and Representative Kirby for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we want to help welcome to the House the Leadership Walton and the Youth Leadership Walton from Walton County. Would y'all stand up there in the gallery? I don't see them right now. They must be over in the Senate. So if you get a chance, we appreciate them coming down here, and thank you very much.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dempsey for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, members. Today I want to recognize this day as Together Georgia Day at our state capitol. Many of you have worked with Together Georgia over the years. They're a nonprofit alliance of service providers that provide statewide services and care to Georgia's most vulnerable children, working across a wide spectrum of ways to help and make their lives better and create opportunities. They educate and train, but they are most well known as a servant leader organization providing help to those that many might consider the least of these, so that one day they may have the opportunities to become the greatest of these. Together Georgia, if you would please stand up, any of you that are in here, and let us recognize you and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Stovall and the Clayton County delegation for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We want to give thanks to the Agriculture Commissioner Black, and his team for the new sign at the farmers market in Clayton County. It is no longer the Atlanta State Farmers Market, but now the Atlanta Clayton County Produce Terminal and Market. So with thanks to the members of the House Study Committee on the Revitalization of the Farmers Market, that was one of the recommendations from the committee, and also to our Clayton County delegation and many others. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman F. Stration for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, this is Human Trafficking Awareness Month in the United States. January is. Human trafficking is an evil practice of modern slavery in which victims who are adults and children are sold for labor or sexual servitude. This evil is perpetrated throughout communities who are rural, suburban, or urban, in homes where the victims come from poor, middle class, or affluent backgrounds. It impacts everyone. And I'm very grateful for the leadership of this House over the past decade working to address this issue, where Georgia had been one of the primary hubs for human trafficking, nationally and internationally. And through the fine work of this General Assembly, that has been stemmed. And I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your leadership on this issue. Too many in here to name, but of course, Chairman Andy Welch, who initially got me involved in this issue.
Gentleman's time has expired.
I'm very proud of the efforts, and I thank the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Hutchinson for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Ladari. Ladari is one of almost 2,000 children available for adoption in Georgia. Ladari is an adorable, outgoing 13-year-old boy who enjoys playing and watching football and basketball. He enjoys watching action movies and comedies. His favorite subject in school is math. Ladari looks forward to going to medical school after he completes college. So say hello to Ladari, and thank you very much. I yield the spiel.
Chair recognizes Representative Gravely for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We all enjoy when constituents can come down and visit with us, and today I have the pleasure of having two Douglas County constituents with me, Dick Jones and his son Kyle Jones. Dick is retired from a career in law enforcement, and I just want to welcome him here. He also participated in fraud investigations, and the law enforcement continues, first responding continues in the family, because Kyle tomorrow starts EMT school. So if y'all would just welcome them here, if they'll stand in the gallery for us for their service and for his career in law enforcement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Frazier for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've been joined by all the members that support sickle cell. Thank you all so much for wearing your red today. It is actually Sickle Cell Awareness Day at the state capitol. And we are honored to have all of our folk that have traveled across the state. Would you all please stand and be recognized? These are all people that either live with sickle cell or know someone that has sickle cell. We are here at the state capitol in room 216 today for lunch. Please come by and meet your constituents that have traveled across the state to be here. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all in 216.
Chair recognizes Chairman Cantrell for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On a much lighter note, colleagues, I wanted to remind you about our free showing of the movie Just Mercy, starring Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan, this afternoon at 5:30 at the Landmark Theater. Everyone's welcome to attend. We strategically planned it at 5:30 so that your staff could come with you. So please invite everyone you want to come. We have 350 seats, so I think we got plenty of room, but it is first come, first serve. So hopefully we'll see you this afternoon at 5:30. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Chairman? I have an inquiry.
State your inquiry. Was that okay?
You did well. Don't get too good at it. Would you give me a list of those who do not stay to see the credits roll?
I will be happy to do that, Mr. Speaker. I was going to provide a kind of a quiz afterwards to make sure who was paying attention and who wasn't.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chair recognizes Representative Rick Williams for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're going to be introducing Gracie's Law today. In 1990, the federal government passed a law that prevented discrimination. This bill will make sure in Georgia has a law that stops organ or tissue transplants against challenged, physically or mentally challenged people. The bill is on my desk. If everybody would like to come sign it, will. And we have Gracie and her parents, if they would stand to be recognized in the gallery, please. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Lynn Smith and Chairman McCall, are they? All right, we're going to move on. House will remain in order. We have some distinguished and special guests with us today. The clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 985.
House Resolution 985 by Representative Prince, the 127th, Nelson, the 125th, Howard, the 124th, Frazier, the 126th, Lott, the 122nd, and others. A resolution congratulating and commending Dr. Ben Casella, and for other purposes.
Chair recognizes Representative Brian Prince for an invite resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And colleagues, today we have an opportunity to recognize one of our own, a Georgian from the great state of Augusta. You didn't get there. You'll catch that on the way home. But a Georgian who has been awarded by the American Optometric Association, the Optometrist of the Year. Please help me welcome a good friend of mine, my family's, Dr. Ben Casella.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I will be out of your way in no time. I want to thank Representative Prince, the Georgia delegate. Thank you all. The Augusta CSRA delegate, in specific, my optometry family. Without you, there is no me. My father's here. My father, Dr. Tom Casella. I'm a third-generation optometrist, and I've known him my whole life. I feel like this was a win for the little guy. I practice in downtown Augusta. The bulk of my patient base is children, and the bulk of my patient base relies on the state of Georgia for its health care. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my patients' hearts for the hard work that this legislative body does to ensure access to care. Thank you so much for the work that you do. And Mr. Speaker, I yield my time. Yes, sir.
Chair wants to recognize on the floor of the House two former members. Former State Representative Shaw McVeigh from down on the Georgia coast. Let's give him a hand. And I saw former State Representative Randall Mangum earlier. Is he still on the floor? Apparently not. He was with us earlier. Clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 963.
House Resolution 963 by Representative Frazier, the 126th, a resolution recognizing January 29th, 2020 as Sickle Cell Day in Georgia and for other purposes.
Chair recognizes Representative Gloria Frazier for an invite resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we continue this great day recognizing our sickle cell constituents who have traveled across the state, I am so honored to have with us today Georgia Sickle Cell Poster Child for 2020. His name is Kamar Verdon, and his nickname is Redhead. So I would like for you all he's a 13-year-old 8th grader living with sickle cell anemia, and he currently resides in Savannah, Georgia. Please give our poster child a round of applause. Wave. I'm also honored to have with us today Dr. James Ekman. He is a professor emeritus of the Department of Hematology and Medical Oncology at Emory University. Dr. Ekman actually established the world's first 24-hour comprehensive acute care sickle cell clinic at Grady Memorial Hospital, where he served as the director for 35 years. And also joined with us is Dr. Otis Powell. He is a board-certified practicing family medicine practitioner with extensive treatment in sickle cell. Also honored to know that Dr. Powell graduated from the Medical College of Georgia in Augusta, at Augusta University. At this time, Mr. Speaker, Dr. Ekman will bring us a few words. Okay, so you're gonna go down.
Thank you, Representative Frazier, Mr. Speaker, and members for allowing me to say a few words about this important disease that affects over 8,000 individuals in Georgia. The outlook for individuals with sickle cell disease is improving dramatically. Children born in our state are now reaching adulthood virtually all of the time. There are new treatments available. 2 new drugs just approved by the FDA adds to the 2 already present, giving us 4 preventive treatments for the disease. And a few individuals are being cured by bone marrow transplant and genetic therapy that is on the cutting edge of genetic research. Unfortunately, despite all of these advances, individuals throughout the state of Georgia are not reaching the benefits of these treatments because they don't have adequate access to health care. The Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia is working very hard with Augusta and Emory and CHOA to really improve services throughout the state by doing outreach activities. The Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia is having seminars for primary care physicians to increase their knowledge so they can take care of these patients. They have a network of community health workers that are coordinating services. They are actually starting clinics using federally qualified clinics, faith-based clinics, and public health clinics to provide direct patient care. They are also helping youth transitioning to adult care, and so they're working very hard to improve the services so all individuals in Georgia can have these benefits. Thank you.
Okay, we're going back now to morning orders. Chair will remind the members of the 1 minute time limit. Chair recognizes Representative Houston Gaines for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I want to take a moment to recognize occupational therapists for the crucial work they do in our communities. Occupational therapists provide essential care to patients across our state who have experienced injuries and illnesses that affect their ability to live self-sufficiently through helping individuals learn or relearn the skills that they need to thrive every day, including tasks as simple as brushing their teeth and as complex as relearning to walk on uneven terrain. Currently, there are approximately 4,000 active occupational therapists and occupational therapist assistants in the state of Georgia. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, demand for this field will grow 33% faster than average demand because of increased aging population. I want to thank you for your dedication to your work on behalf of patients across this state. Thank you so much.
Chair recognizes for a morning order Chairman Lynn Smith and Chairman Tom McCall.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Chairman McCall and I are here today to explain to you about a return to normalcy in our state of Georgia as far as navigable waters are concerned. A few years ago, the previous administration expanded the rules and regs on what's called navigable waters, and that's understandable. It means you can run something down a river, and it started including ditches, furrows. I can't name to you all the things that were included in it. There was a campaign to try and make the point of a family of 4 in a canoe in a dry ditch trying to paddle. So it's mainly best explained through a farmer's viewpoint, so I'll turn the rest of my time over to Chairman McCall.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. It's a major, major win for agriculture in your state, not only for agriculture, but also for homeowners with a yard and a lawn that might have water running out of your downspouts that the federal government could control. And I tell folks a lot of times now, you can go to the bathroom on the outside and not create an ephemeral stream that will come under federal jurisdiction. So thank you for redoing this.
Thank you.
For what purpose does Representative Buckner rise?
Make a motion.
State your motion.
I make a motion to move House Bill 8, ask it to be removed from the Committee of Ways and Means to the Committee of Health and Human Services, and both chairmen have agreed.
The lady has moved that House Bill 8 be withdrawn from the Ways and Means Committee and committed to the Health and Human Services Committee. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 8 by Representative Buckner, and the 137th and others, to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 8 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia Annexated relating to sales and use taxes.
On the lady's motion that House Bill 8 be withdrawn from the Ways and Means Committee and committed to the Health and Human Services Committee, is there objection? Is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions.
Commending the University System of Georgia Outstanding Scholars on Academic Recognition Day for 2020. Recognizing commending Heather Williamson. Recognizing commending Simone Crane. Recognizing commending Liner Argeda. Recognizing January 28, 2020 as Addiction Recovery Awareness Day in Georgia. Commending the Georgia Future Farmers of America Association, and recognizing February 18, 2020 as Future Farmers of America Day at the state capitol. Recognizing commending Columbia County's River Ridge Elementary School's River Ridge 3 theater team. Recognizing the week of February 3 through 7, 2020 as National School Counseling Week, honoring the life and memory of Cassandra Elizabeth Casey Rayford. Commending and congratulating Deputy Sheriff Roger Kenneth Mize upon the grand occasion of his retirement. Honoring the life and memory of Mary Javeley, ARP. Honoring the life and memory of Bill Mason, Sr. Honoring the life and memory of Christine Davis Stovall. Honoring the life and memory of Annetta Bunch. Honoring the life and memory of Jackie Milam. Honoring the life and memory of Oscar C. Henry. Commending Assistant Chief Community Supervision Officer Travis Rucker on being named the Department of Community Supervision's 2019 Officer of the Year. Recognizing and commending John W. Weaver upon the grand occasion of his retirement. Recognizing the Lunar New Year celebration, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. We're going on now to announcements. Chair recognizes Representative Kendrick for an announcement. If you have an announcement, please come up to the front and be prepared.
Thank you, colleagues. You have a flyer on your desk. There is going to be a Facebook training, like the Facebook is coming down to give an exclusive training to legislators on how to engage with constituents, and they're going to give you a data and IoT update. So please come next Tuesday from 12 to 1 in room 307. They will be providing lunch and giving you a training on how to get the blue check and all those fun things with Facebook. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Marin and Representative Moore for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. Buenos dias. I just want to remind the Gwinnett delegation that we're meeting today at noon on room 510 over at the CLOB for our monthly Gwinnett delegation meeting. We have Mr. Rudy Wowen, candidate for DOT for re-election, speaking to us. So again, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And members, following the Gwinnett delegation meeting today, we will also be meeting for the 7th Congressional District GDOT election. So if you have any territory within Congressional District 7, we are meeting today, 2 p.m., Senate Chamber. Please be there. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Evans for an announcement.
The DeKalb delegation will meet in CLOB 514 upon adjournment. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Sam Watson for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rural Caucus will be meeting today at 2:01 in the Department of Agriculture at noon. We've got our Georgia EMCs coming in to talk about broadband and where they are today. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Darlene Taylor for an announcement. And before you give your announcement, do y'all know that today is her birthday?
Thank you.
Wish her a happy birthday.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Oh.
Some people will do anything to get in the well on their birthday.
I know. It doesn't hurt too bad. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Committee on Appropriations Transportation Subcommittee will be meeting in the morning, Thursday, January 30th at 8 a.m. in CLOB 515. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Beverly for an announcement.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. The Georgia House Democratic Caucus will meet tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Please be there on time, 8 a.m. Breakfast will be served. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Harrell for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Avalorem Subcommittee of Ways and Means will meet this afternoon at 2 in the newly christened J. Powell Conference Room in 133, and we'll be having a hearing on House Bill 504, 2 o'clock and 133.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dickey for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Appropriations Education Subcommittee will meet this afternoon at 3 o'clock in room 606, Education Subcommittee.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dempsey for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to make you all aware that the House Appropriations Human Resources Subcommittee will be meeting today in 406 over in the Coverdale building at 1 o'clock. I know these are issues that each of you care about and are hearing about from your constituents. So as we tackle the conversations about these potential cuts, I hope you'll all show up and help us do the work that we are charged with doing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Douglas to introduce the Doctor of the Day.
I was waiting on him. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, colleagues. It is my pleasure to introduce the Doctor of the Day. Dr. Tom Smith is a board certified by the American Board of Ophthalmology. No, orthopedic. We was talking about this earlier with the ophthalmologists, and then I get up here and do the same thing. Surgery in the American Academy of Ortho Surgeons Fellow. Dr. Smith is fellowship trained in both shoulder surgery, y'all listen up, y'all might need him, shoulder surgery and sports medicine. Dr. Smith is the founding member of Ortho Atlanta. His practices include orthopedic surgery with specialties in interests of sports medicine, shoulder, hip, knees disorder, fractures, and arthritic joint reconstruction. So if you're listening, you need him. He's also my constituent, great guy, great family guy. It's my pleasure to introduce the Doctor of the Day, Dr. Smith.
Speaker. Thank you, Representative Douglas. Mr. Speaker, thank you. Just 1 minute to say it's my pleasure to serve here. I appreciate the service, the hard work, the commitment, the instruction that you give us as citizens. And on behalf of the Medical Association of Georgia and the Georgia Orthopedic Society, it's my pleasure to be here and spend a day with y'all. Know that I'm here with Nurse Mac all day, and I'm happy to serve. So do well. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the majority leader of the House for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Thursday, January 30th, 2020.
The majority leader has moved that this House be adjourned until Thursday, January 30 at 10 a.m. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes clearly have it. This House is adjourned until Thursday, January 30th at 10 a.m.